Hi, I'm Shoestring Jane. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and money saving. And today I'm doing a bit of meal planning and sorting out my stores. So let's go. Today's slim pickings. I did pick some tomatoes as well and put them to ripen. I'll try one of these little squashes today. My sister-in-law Elizabeth gave me these. I don't really know what they are or what point you're supposed to pick them, but that looks about right. Just a few runner beans, some different courgettes. And one thing I'm going to start doing and bring these out of the cupboard is because I forget to use them and I tend to drink builder's tea all the time. This is delicious and it's so nice for a change. So I'll just have that black. So I've got a cup of tea using that now. And let's have a look in these cupboards then. So kneeling on the floor to go through this cupboard because it's at floor height. And let me just warn you, it's not tidy. So what have we got in here? Let's have a look. Let's move you slightly down. You can see, sorry, a bit of wobbling going on. There you go. Just about see what's in there now, can't you? So I haven't been through this cupboard for a while and it's really messy. So I need to see, I think, I just buy a few more chopped tomatoes and things like that every now and then and just forget that I've got hundreds. So chopped tomatoes. So I'm going to try and put them in a sensible way. They're plum tomatoes, I keep them separate. Oh, there's some things falling out the falling out the drawer above. That's a mess, isn't it? Clearly. More plum. These are things that, I don't really like sliced carrots, but I did buy in the charity shop a copy of Jack Monroe's Tin Can Cook, so I'm going to start having to think about how I can build something like this into my meal plan. That was really just to have some in the stores. More chopped tomatoes here, so I'm going to shove them all back there because then I know they're all in that row. There's 4 there. There's some butter beans, more chopped tomatoes here I bought the other day. You can go there as well. Black-eyed beans, so let's have another beanie shelf versus plum tomatoes. I'll get those next to them. This seems to be a beanie area. I've got dookie beans, chickpeas, black beans and butter beans so far. Let's put the plum tomatoes next to the chopped tomatoes. I've got 3 cans of those so far and how many? 6 cans of chopped tomatoes. Green olive tapenade. I need to get this out and use it because its expiry date is November. Not that it matters for things like jars, but I think I bought that in Lidl. That's nice though, so I want to put that near the front. I've got some just tomato puree. I have some open in the fridge as well. I'll look more. Chickpeas, have to wait until I'm doing a big dish for that. And lentils. So I've got a load of cans of sweet corn. Let's put those with the veg. This looks like a can of chili con carne. See, I hate stuff like this. I would never use that. That is purely for my stores when I was just building up a store. So I wouldn't use that. I don't like it. I'm going to put that in the food bank. Let's put that up there. Somebody will like that. And it's easy just to warm it up in a can. Peach slices. So I've got fruit. Justin loves peaches and custard. This is something else that I bought for the stores. Tried them. Absolutely cannot stand them. Sliced mushrooms. So they are also going to the food bank. These are things I need to just use. I can use those in casseroles and things. I usually like frozen peas, but it's good to have something that you can just grab if, something happened with the freezer or anything like that. So I'm going to put those up there. And we're sort of getting onto the protein elements. I've got some corned beef. I love a corned beef hash. I wonder if I might potentially do a corned beef hash this week. Mackerel fillets, I just love to have those in the cupboard. They're nice on toast or just in a salad. Really like those. I've got vinegar. I've got tons of vinegar, but I don't keep it there, so I'm not sure why that's there. So I'm going to put that to where my oils and things like that are. More protein. Tuna. You need to have tuna in your stock cupboard, don't you? And I've got more tinned fruit. Definitely need to put these somewhere else. I'm going to put these in a different cupboard because I've already got a different cupboard with a load of fruit in it. So with the peaches, I'll put that somewhere else. And then when Justin says, what have we got for dessert? I can tell him. There's some custard, Asda essentials, just essentials, and more peaches. So we got more green lentils. These are always handy. I love making red dragon pie. And if you've never made red dragon pie, it's a vegetarian recipe, a real classic by Sarah Brown. And it uses aduki beans, dried ones. You rarely find them dried. When I see them canned, which again you don't see them canned very often, I'll buy them. But if I haven't got those to make that recipe, and you can find that on my blog, shoestringcottage.com, I will tend to chuck in a can of lentils instead. Also in the puddings, I've got some vegan condensed milk. I have to think about how I'm going to use that. I must have bought that. I can't remember. I think I bought that last Christmas because we had a vegan coming round, but he didn't come in the end. I thought it might be useful, but I could maybe make a vegan banoffee pie, as is on the lid. I wonder what that would be like. I might keep that with, well, I'll put that with the puddings anyway, with the sweet stuff. Oh God, I need to make some curry or something. I've got two cans of coconut cream. So again, it's like an alternative to whipping cream. It's not coconut milk, it's actually coconut cream. So I need to think about what I can do with those, because rather than just having them in there, so I'm putting aside things that I need to kind of do a bit of research on. Oh, loads more canned fish. Look at this lot. I've got sardines in tomato sauce and 1 sardines in sunflower oil. Let's keep those there, I think. And then here I have got just sardines in sunflower oil and a mackerel in tomato sauce. So let's put all those together. I have another can of corned beef. A load more, but the cheapy tuna chunks, but they're still okay. They're Morrison's, and Nick's come from, I think it's Aldi, isn't it, Nick's? So I need to put those somewhere. Let's put the fish all together, shall we? Put the fish there. Where's that tuna? What else have I got? Oh, I've got some baked beans, more chopped tomatoes. Let's put those over there. Meatballs in tomato sauce. This is another thing that I bought for the stores but would never use. So I'm going back to the food bank. This is green pesto. I need that to be, it's quite handy to have this, isn't it? Occasionally if you're feeling a bit lazy. I quite like it on top of fish. My legs are going to sleep, just move myself. And I've also got just some olives, but they're just really kind of to snack on or to put in pasta dishes sometimes. Tin of potatoes. Now I find these tins of potatoes really handy. More tomatoes. Put them in the right place. More tomatoes. More baked beans. Let's put those down with the others. I've got this Just Essentials stewed steak. Again, I need to think of a way of using that, so I'm going to research that. Another corned beef. I've got 3 cans of corned beef. I didn't realise I had 3 cans. And I've got another green pesto. And things I don't use very often. I have another meatballs in rich gravy, which is going to go to the food bank. This I'm going to keep, it needs using now. So again, this was just in my stores. This is good for thickening soup, so I need to actually use it. I don't like this kind of processed food, although I did watch a taste test recently where, what's that cook called that laughs all the time, Rusty something? She did a taste test with a fellow chef and she used actual smash rather than Asda's instant mash, and put lots of butter in it, made it up, and creamy, delicious looking real mash, and tried it out on her chef colleague and he preferred the smash. Couldn't believe that. So perhaps it's not as bad as I think it might be. More potatoes. I normally have quite a lot more potatoes. I'm going to add those to my list because I like having those. They're quite good in the air fryer. If you're tired or something, can't really be bothered. So I've got to arrange that bit, and then let's have a look at this bottom bit. Hopefully you can see the bottom messy shelf a bit more now. So I've got loose leaf tea. I actually have got a lot of tea elsewhere. I need to put it all in one place. It's just because I ran out of space for it. I love a cup of loose tea in the morning. It tastes so much nicer. I've got 2 things of coffee. One of those I'm going to keep up because my coffee pot needs filling up. So I'm going to stay out. What else have I got? I bought these for Justin, just fake Weetabix from Lidl. I have just the end of fruit and fibre. So again, normally it's Justin that eats this, and he loves these. He's obsessed with these. I wouldn't eat any of these for breakfast, but he really likes them. Those there. I've got some PG tips. Just normal there. This is the pack that I saw. This is not the one. I recently mentioned in a video that I had seen a pack this size in my mum's local co-op, and they were charging £9.60 something, which is just ridiculous. They have gone up quite a lot, so I'm glad I've got a few packed boxes. I've got some more in another cupboard, so I'm going to bring them all together. Found some more sweet corn. Right, I'm going to sort out my veggie shelf. Let's get this sorted out. So I'm just going to put all of the things that are kind of protein and pulses in one place, apart from the baked beans, because I'll kind of access those a bit more quickly. Green lentils, black beans, and more green lentils. Lots of pulses. I could be doing lots of vegetarian dishes. I've got some friends who are vegetarians coming for dinner soon, so I'm going to do probably red dragon pie for them. So that's all my pulses. I've got potatoes over here. And let's do kind of meat next to the fish. So I've got corned beef. I've got some more baked beans. I'll decide where to put those. Okay. And I'm going to put vegetables over here. So I've got my sweet corn, peas there, and carrots at the front. So I think to use them. So baked beans I'll put just here so I can see them next to the pulses, and then I've got all my fruit. I've got to decide what to do with those. These I think I'll class those as vegetables, the olives, and I'll put those somewhere else. Let's have a look. Mashed potato right at the front because I'm going to use that. Right, back to this bottom bit. Right, it shouldn't be in here. So soy sauce, I'll forget that if I keep that in there. I've got 2 of those. Dark and a light. So there goes with all my oils and vinegars and things. But a lot of porridge oats. I eat this a lot in the winter. It's alright, 14th February 24. I've been eating yoghurt a lot, so it's not getting much use at the moment. 13th of April, so let's put those behind. I think that's all of the oats I've got. Is pudding rice. I think it's pudding rice and not paella rice. I need to use that, so I'm going to get that where I can see it. And I've got a selection of gluten-free and non-gluten-free pasta. As I always do, I've kind of stopped eating gluten-free because I start off full of good intentions. I think it's the right thing for me, and honestly, in the end, I feel like I'm eating loads of processed rubbish, so I stop. I've got some sort of pain down over here. So I will use these. Obviously, I'm going to use this part. More gluten-free spaghetti there. I don't like it as much as normal pasta. A big thing of fusilli here. So pasta. Oh my goodness, what's fallen down the back there? What's that? Oh, coconut milk powder. So that's really good when you want to make a curry and you haven't got any coconut milk. It's got loads of cobwebs on it. So again, I need to kind of build that into something, start using it. I bought a massive thing of rice. but that's July 24, so I'm actually using that, so I'll fill up my little pot that's out here and stay at the back somewhere. And my cereal here. Justin's got to eat fruit and fibre first. And I've got 2 lots of pad thai. They're just good to have in the cupboard, aren't they? I've got a tiny bit of brown rice. I'm going to add brown rice to my shopping list because I'm tending to eat brown more than white. White's really handy when you haven't got a lot of time though. That needs to go in my, it's just all open, linguine. I need to put that in where all my open pasta is. Oh, I got this organic millet grain a little while ago. I need to build that into something. Let's get that out. Oh, that's just my salt. I'll put the salt with the wine vinegars and the oils and things like that. I've got milk powder here. So, yeah, I mean, I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't have a lot of milk powder. This is for my stores. But what have we got? What's the date on it? Oh, I can't see a date. Oh, that's March 24, so I've got plenty of time on that. I do need to build that into something, so this is one that's actually open, so I really need to use this. Tricky when you don't eat a lot of stuff like that. I need to make some up though, because Justin could have that on his porridge. So think about that. Okay, so then we've got the pasta. I'm going to buy another pasta, the rice. Tea can go at the back there, and then that's there, and the coffee. So I put everything back and moved the peaches and all of the kind of sweet stuff into a different cupboard. But whilst I was in there, I then found I had a jar of doppiazza. So again, I don't use that very often, but that needs to be used, I think. So, and 2 cans of potatoes rather, and a can of actual coconut milk. So I need to put those in here. Stick those there with the coconut creams. I don't think I'm going to do a curry this week, but I might do. Let's put those down there. All the pasta and rice and everything's down there. And potatoes can go in here. God, it's a bit more clean, doesn't it? Okay, so that's all the kind of savoury stuff. So I'm not hoarding, am I? I've just got a reasonable kind of store cupboard. So I don't do the hoarding thing. I'll find somewhere for this to live. I think I'll put this in a container with all my other stuff, so let's show you that. So this is where I've started buying things like sunflower seeds and nuts and things now from Buy Whole Foods online. I think they're quite good value, so I've just filled up my sunflower seeds. I'm going to put the millet somewhere on here, and this is what I've got. Let's find a bit of space for this. I need 2 hands. I'll show you that in a minute. So on here I have some sesame seeds. Now I usually put those on top of like anything with cheese, like if I was doing a shepherd's pie or something, I would put that on top with some cheese. I think it's really nice. Got some brown sugar hiding in the back there. That's the brown rice that's out, and I've got some red lentils behind there, and that's light brown sugar. I don't use a lot of sugar. Macaroni, I must use that at some point as well. This is my dried kale, so I'm trying to keep that where I can see it, because I just sprinkle it on top of soups and things. Same with this dried veg. Now I just did this as an experiment. You may have seen this video, but I have yet to actually use them, but you can see they're lasting quite well. I need to think of, a type of soup. I'll save those for winter because they'll be all right for a bit. Just some raisins, some dried mixed fruit at the back there. It's normally just the cheap stuff I use for a fruit cake. White rice. I've got my coconut flakes, so I need to do another order to Buy Whole Foods online, because that's where I got the coconut flakes from, and just caster sugar. I've got to remember that's there, because I keep using the stuff out of the cupboard, the baking cupboard, and not that. I might move that actually into the baking cupboard so I remember it. And there you go, I've got somewhere to put my sunflower seeds. And then what have we got down here? Got oats, so I could fill that up. I'll finish that first. This is where I put all the pasta that's open, all the spaghetti and that sort of thing. So I've put that linguine in there. Nuts, I've just got mixed nuts, a packet of walnuts and a packet of almonds, which I chuck on top of my yoghurt in the morning. Almond flour, which I use for baking. This needs to be reordered. Pumpkin seeds. I put the pudding rice, and it's not pudding rice actually, it's paella rice, so I'm going to do a paella. I've got a spare container there which I will use for my millet. And then what's that lurking at the back there? Coconut flour, I use that for baking, and also some gluten-free pasta at the back there, and erythritol when I was doing sugar-free baking. And if I do that occasionally, I'll use that. Desiccated coconut, I've got 2 more packs of desiccated coconut, but I'm going to use that one up before I start filling it up again because I want that done. So that's kind of all my dried stuff. So this is where all the peaches went, and I've got a whole load of sugar because I need to make some jam with the red currants that I've got in the freezer. So all the pudding's there, and some sugar, and there's some baking stuff down here, including some custard powder. Oh, and some jelly. It might be out of date now, May 23. I could make some fluff with the evaporated milk and jelly. I've got some yeast there as well, baking powder, chocolate chips. See what else I've got in the other cupboard. So this is flours. I've got gluten-free flour and bread flour and normal flour, and I've just moved that caster sugar up here because there's an open caster sugar and I had forgotten I decanted that, so that's needs using first. And then all my sauces and vinegars and gravy, granules and stock. All the different vinegar. I've got a lot of vinegars, including 2 balsamic vinegars that are open. I've been using the back one. I need to use this one up first. Worcester sauce, soy sauce, sesame oil, nice olive oil, and some coconut oil in the background there. I've also got these. I don't really know why I bought these. Nutritional yeast flakes. I don't know any vegans now, otherwise I just give those away, so I need to try and put them in something. And then over here, it's some more tea bags. And these tea bags that I need to use, but so I've got a couple out to use, and just a few snacks and things. And the hot chocolate, I'll probably never drink that, but I think Izzy or Justin might drink that. I usually make actual cocoa if I'm going to do anything like that. Got just a small amount of cocoa powder. Yeah. And I found these. Now these should have been used a long time ago. I'm going to put halloumi on my list to use that because I love halloumi. Quesadilla. Spicy barbecue sauce. I haven't got the recipe cards. Literally no idea what they are for, so I'll have to look them up on the Simply Cook website. But sag curry. I've got chard in the garden. I'm going to put that on this week's meal plan. The sag curry. Okay, so what I've decided to do, I'm actually not starting this on a Sunday or a Monday, I'm starting it on a Wednesday. So tonight I've defrosted already some chicken, so I'm going to do baked chicken. I'm trying to use up these little herb mixes that I've had hanging around for quite a while. This is actually a mix for gyros, which is the Greek beef thing, isn't it? But it's nice on anything, I think. So I'm going to put that on the chicken, and then I'm just going to roast some veg from the garden. So we've got courgettes, we've got peppers, I also have onions and garlic. I've got some aubergines outside, but I don't know if I'm going to use them in this. I'll see what else. I've got some carrots. I'm going to have a couple of carrots. I'm going to put those in as well, roast those up, and anything else I can find. Going to Justin's mum's for dinner tomorrow. Friday, I need something really quick because I am cleaning in the morning, and then I've got an appointment with the solicitor to update my will, so I'm going to be out all day. So something quick just for me, because Justin will be eating with his mum. I've got some leftover ratatouille I made a few weeks ago, and some rice, and some grated mozzarella that I found in the freezer. So Saturday I'll do corned beef hash with some cabbage that we've got in the fridge. For Sunday, I'm going to do the sag curry and rice because we've got potatoes and we have got some chard in the garden. I'm going to use chard rather than spinach. And then on moving to Monday, we've still got lots of vegetables coming in. Oh, we've got runner beans as well, which I'll be using in various things, but still got lots of courgettes and peppers and things coming through, so I thought I'd make a vegetable risotto with the risotto rice that I found. And then I've got some sausages in the freezer, so I'll just do sausage mash and cabbage. Need to buy some old potatoes for that because I'm not sure we have any. And I've got over here banana bread. I'm not gonna be over ambitious because I still haven't got time this week to do much, but I'm going to make some banana bread because in the freezer just now, when I went through and did a freezer audit, I found 6 bananas that had started going brown and I shoved in the freezer, so they need using. What else did I find? Let's turn you round. So I just went through all the freezers. I'm just defrosting the little one at the bottom of the fridge in here because that's so long overdue. I've got 2 freezers going in the garage now. We've got like a double one and we've got a spare fridge and freezer from our old house, which I have kept, and they are actually full. But I'm so embarrassed. I actually can't believe that I do this every time. I keep buying reduced bread whenever I see it. That's gluten-free and normal. And I have got, I just counted them up, 11 loaves or partly used loaves of bread in our freezer. So I'm putting myself on a bread buying ban for some time because I don't even eat that much bread. Justin does, he likes bread, but still. So I've got also some reduced mince I bought the other day, some reduced salmon that's been in there a while. I've got some sausages, quite a lot of like ready-made frozen veg. I've got some corn, half a bag of sweet corn, a whole bag of mixed veg, 1.5 bags of peas and a whole bag of runner beans, which I don't really like frozen runner beans, so I don't really know why I've got those in there. But I won't use them yet. They're obviously going to wait until our own runner beans have been used up. I found some gluten-free rolls. I've got them out and I'm going to use them with my soup today. Yesterday I made a massive pot of tomato soup with tomatoes from the garden, so I've got that again today. I'll have the gluten-free rolls with that. I've got a bag of bread ends, but I need just a few more before I can make a bread pudding, so I'll do that next week. A few little bits of frozen fruit. So I've got fresh fruit at the moment, so I'll use that up first, but then that's the kind of thing I'd have with my yoghurt or on my porridge. So I just need to do one pot really, that's all there is, just bits and bobs of that. A grated mozzarella, which I mentioned just now, I will use on Friday and get out the freezer on Thursday night. The bananas I mentioned, I've got 2 or 3 bags of chopped courgettes that just needed something doing with them, so I chopped them up and shoved them in the freezer, which I'll make some soup with at a later date. I've got the red currants that they've made making into jam. There's about, I think there's 4 containers of those, or maybe 5, so that'll make a really good load of red currant jelly. I've got a load of meat for Archie, 3 lots of that, which is good. That's enough for this week. It's 12 portions of soup that I've made. That's courgette and tomato, courgette and also tomato, not courgette and tomato together. I found just a couple of gluten-free muffins that I made myself the other week, banana muffins, so I'll take those to cleaning with me this week. And that was it, I think. So yeah, the bread needs clearly, and I've got a problem clearly with all of that bread. I just I don't know why I do it. I see a yellow sticker and I think, well, that's a really good price, but it takes up so much room. So I've got the builders next door, again, a different next door. They finished at the one over the road and now they're starting next door. So we have constant whining drills. But yes, so I've got to stop myself from doing that. I think that's what I was saying, losing track. I'm using a few of the things. I'm going to use that sug mix. I'm going to use one of the cans of corned beef. Lots of fresh stuff to use from the garden, lots of runner beans to use, so they'll go alongside all of these meals, and that's going to be the plan for the week. Oh, so I just was having a quick look through here for some meals I could do with some of my tins, and beefy boozy looks good, so I can use the tin of carrots in that. Wine or cider, we always have that here. So it's any onion, garlic, tin of brown lentils, I can use tin of green, I'm sure. Herbs, chicken or vegetable stock, tin of stewed steak. So that's really good. That's all stuff I have. I'm definitely going to give that a go. So not this week, but that will be on an upcoming week. So that's the plan for food this week, and it's just good to go through and have a stock take, isn't it, every now and then, so you can see what you've got. And I usually do that before I go shopping. This week was so mad. I had Mum here for the weekend, and obviously we were entertaining her and keeping her occupied. And then when I took her home, I took her to Lidl and I did a shop in Lidl. So I had a list, but I hadn't really planned the meals. I had a rough idea of things I wanted and what I was likely to make this week. But that's not the way around to do it. You should always look through your cupboards and your fridge and your freezers first, and then do your meal plan, and then do your shopping list, obviously. So it was all a bit confused this week. But I'm glad I've done that and gone through everything so I can see what I've got and what I need to use up. So that's the plan for food. Do you do this every now and then, get yourself in a muddle, go through and think, I've got multiple of specific items that need using quickly? Or are you a bit more organised than me? I'm normally quite well organised actually, but I have found just the last few months, I use my day as an excuse, but it is true, you know, it kind of threw me off balance, and I had lots of things that went to pot, and meal planning and proper shopping and that kind of thing, proper cooking. They all went by the wayside when I was in hospital so much visiting him. So I'm getting myself really organised again now, and you know, really thinking about the budget. My next job today is to sit, write out my budget, make sure nothing's changed. I know a couple of things have, and just track my spending for last month, see how that was going. And that's it, I'm back in control. I already mentioned that I have a will meeting with my solicitor tomorrow. I'm going to update my will. This is the thing when someone dies, isn't it? It makes you think about these things. And it also made me consider taking out a funeral plan. So I have done that. I'm in the process of doing it. I've had a chat with somebody this morning, got a quote, which I'm going to accept. He's sending me over the paperwork, and I'm going to pay for that outright because I have the money. So I don't want the girls on Justin, if something happens to me, to be worrying about how to pay for my funeral. There's literally no point in me doing it monthly at this point because, you know, I don't have a great income coming in, but I do have some money put by. So I'm going to spend some of that and get that done. They don't have to worry about that. I want them to be able to grieve. And my dad had done that and I appreciated it. We all did. So we didn't have to worry about finding the money for his funeral. He had it all in hand. So that's what I want to do for my family when I go. Hopefully it's not going to be too soon. Fingers crossed. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up. And if you subscribe, you will know next time I am going to publish something. One other thing I will mention, this week I changed my book, so it's available if you get Kindle Unlimited. The link is in the description below. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can now read my book for free. It's called Extreme Frugality, Save Money Like Your Grandma. So if you like that kind of thing, check it out. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.